You are watching the Tuesday edition of Platinum Northwest TV News. Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Philadelphia Mangoeng. Let's take a look at the news making headlines. First up, the North West Department of Education has been criticized for awarding a contract that will see a paycheck of almost R500 million, and a principal from the Vryburg area has been arrested for alleged corruption. In the business news, the South African rand shines amongst weak data and new tariffs. And in the sports news, COSAFA hosts South Africa prepares to meet Mozambique in the opening match. We begin here. The North West Province's Education Department has been criticized for a contract that will see it paying roughly R500 million to print matric exam papers over the next 5 years. Weekend newspaper reports stated that the 5-year contract with joint venture Lebone Altron DSV Consortium will cost the North West Province R128 million annually. On the other hand, the North West Department of Education has disputed these reports, insisting that the 5-year contract will cost the provincial authorities around R100 million annually. The department spokesperson Mpata Molokwane tried to justify the big increase, explaining that it was for an end-to-end solution. Here's more.
The North West Department of Education is aware of the concerns raised in the public domain regarding the recent contract of printing, packaging and delivering of examination papers this year, which is valued at approximately R100 million per annum. Contrary to recent reports suggesting a R27 million spend, the Department of Education is clarifying that over the past 2 years, nearly R70 million annually was invested in printing, picking, packaging and distributing question papers for various examinations, including the National Senior Certificate, which is grade 12, and General Education Certificate for grade 9 learners. This new contract expands beyond printing to include comprehensive services such as storage, secure distribution, scanning and archiving of answer scripts for both May and June and November-December examinations, as well as matric preparatory examinations. This contract represents a significant step forward in ensuring that there is integrity and efficiency in our examination processes. The solution not only covers all aspects of printing, but also guarantees that there will be a secured handling and distribution of millions of examination papers, safeguarding the examination process for the thousands of our learners. The contract cost structure is based on an estimated 80 million images per annum at a cost of R126 per image, a price justified by the complexity and scope of services, including photocopying, scanning, and secure archival. The tender followed all required supply chain protocols and was open to all qualified bidders, with the successful consortium meeting all stipulated requirements. The Department of Education is committed to delivering quality education to all learners across the province through efficient management of examination processes and innovative solutions. The department strives to uphold the highest standards in education and assessment integrity.
In other news, a 56-year-old principal from a secondary school in Vryburg has been arrested for alleged corruption. Her arrest by the Hawk Serious Corruption Investigation members follows an investigation into allegation of soliciting gratification from a complainant in exchange for a contract teacher post. It is alleged that in June 2024, the suspect promised the complainant a contract teaching post on condition that the complainant pays her 30,000 rand. The complainant allegedly paid and was subsequently hired. Following an investigation, the suspect was apprehended and charged with 2 counts of corruption. The principal made an urgent application on Sunday with the North West Division of the High Court of South Africa. She was then released on 2,000 rand bail, and her matter has since been postponed to the 9th of June. In more news, a Lesotho national Sangoma Sibokwana Konyana appeared at the Vanderbilt Park Magistrates Court on charges of a premeditated murder as well as human trafficking of a 2-year-old baby Kutlano Shalaba. A charge of premeditated murder was added against the mother as well, 32-year-old Poshia Shalaba, who was previously facing charges of human trafficking, conspiracy to commit robbery and making a false statement to the police. Lumka Mahanjana of the NPA Gauteng division has more.
It is alleged that on the 10th of November 2024, the mother of the child and the Sangoma killed and buried the child at a shallow grave in Waterpan because the mother was not happy with the gender of the child and was tired of hiding the fact that the child was a girl to her family. After investigations by the police, the Sangoma was arrested and he subsequently made a confession and pointing out to where the body of the baby was buried. In court, the matter was postponed to the 5th of June for the Sangoma's legal representation. The court previously denied the mother's release on bail.
Moving on to international news now, Mongolia has been thrown into fresh political crisis with the country's prime minister announcing his resignation following weeks of protest sparked by his family's lavish display of wealth. Now, the protests were triggered by social media posts that went viral showing the prime minister's 23-year-old son's lavish engagement proposal and their apparent extravagant lifestyle, which included helicopter rides, an expensive ring, designer handbags, and a luxury car. Deepening the anger is the rising cost of living, soaring inflation in the wake of Russia's war in Ukraine, and choking pollution in the capital that's home to almost half the population. Suspicion grew over the son's accumulated such wealth, especially as Prime Minister Oyun Erene campaigned on being from a rural and not a wealthy family. The Prime Minister's office called the allegation of financial impropriety completely unfounded. And with that, let's take a look now at the business news. And the business news, the South African rand emerged as the stellar performer among the global currencies in May, significantly strengthening against a largely lethargic US dollar. The domestic robust performance comes as analysts anticipate the heightened volatility in June driven by fresh US trade tariffs and weakening American economic data. The rand gained a remarkable 3.1% against the greenbacks in May, far outpacing the 0.7% average appreciation of the core group of 11 key emerging market currencies. Now, the strong showing builds on a year-to-date appreciation of 5% against the dollar, pacing it ahead of the broader emerging market average and in line with currencies like the Chilean peso and Malaysian ringgit. Now, the rand surge is driven by South Africa's ongoing trade and financial account surpluses, aided by low base effect from the US tariff impacts. And that's all from the business news. Your sports update coming up. In soccer news, the Hollywood Bets COSAFA Cup 2025 is set to begin tomorrow in Mangoeng with a highly anticipated Group A match. Now, South Africa, the host nation, will face Mozambique at the Toyota Stadium with kickoff scheduled for 3 p.m. Central African time. Now, South Africa's head coach Vela Khumalo acknowledged the competitive challenge presented by a revamped Mozambique team and expressed confidence in his squad, highlighting their strong performance despite a 2-week break following the opening match. Now, Group A continues at 6 o'clock Central African time with Zimbabwe facing Mauritius, and then on Thursday, Group B begins with Malawi facing off with Lesotho, followed by last year's final, a rematch of Angola versus Namibia. Moving on to cricket news now, Klaasen has announced his immediate retirement from international cricket, concluding a distinguished 7-year career with the Proteas men. The 33-year-old made his debut in one-day international and T20 international formats in the summer of 2018 and has since established himself as one of the leading white ball players in his generation. He previously retired from red ball cricket in 2024. Over his international career, Klaasen has played 60 ODIs, scoring over 2,000 runs at an average below just 44 in the middle order. Notably, he recorded a career best of 174 against Australia at SuperSport Park in 2023, the second highest score ever by a number 5 batter in the ODIs. Klaasen is recognized for his strength against spin bowling and represented South Africa in 58 T20s with a striking rate of 141.84. His ability to adapt to various bowling attacks with a targeted aggression has made him a key contributor to South Africa's limited overs teams. And that's where we're going to have to leave it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back again tomorrow evening. Till then, good night and take care.